Hello, friends. Happy to be back here with you in this breakthrough coaching session to talk about a very important topic. So let's start from start and talk about universal laws of life. Let me share here with you a presentation to guide the conversation through. So I guess you have heard about the words universal laws of life, nature laws, lighthouse principles maybe, but I doubt you have learned about them in a structured way in school. So we have learned about gravity law, Newton's gravity law, and we do know by fact that if we leave something in the air, that will fall down due to this gravity law being applied. We have learned about Newton's third law of motion. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. But I'm afraid we have missed still something to learn in school. And what we've done, though, is to capture this type of wisdom naturally from interactions we've got in real life with our parents, with siblings, with people surrounding us, and capturing this life wisdom from any experience we get in our own lives. And I'd like to share with you a small experience. So a few days ago, I caught myself talking to my daughter about a situation like this, and I said to her, once upon a time, my father used to say, and I mentioned a quote my father used to say to describe that situation. But the interesting thing is that when my father used to say these quotes to me, he was as well referring to his father, saying, my father said, and he used to say that quote. So it is definitely a life wisdom that we are passing from generation to generation here. What is it? So they call it universal laws of life. But this is something that we're not learning at school, though is important to talk about. I want to share with you today a nice story that was told from Stephen Covey, because that is so metaphorically, beautifully metaphorically, is describing the existence of these universal laws of life, differently as Steve called them, lighthouse principles that govern our lives. So let's see the story together.
It was a dark and stormy night. Captain, wake up. Oh, what is it? Sorry to waken you, sir, but we have a serious problem. Well, what is it? There's a ship in our sea lane about 20 miles away, and they refuse to move. Tell them to move. Sir, we have. They won't move. I'll tell them. Signal goes out. Move starboard 20 degrees at once. The signal returns. Move starboard yourself 20 degrees at once. I can't believe this. I mean, I'm a captain. Let them know who I am. I am important. Signal goes out. This is Captain Horatio Hornblower, the 26th, commanding you to move starboard 20 degrees at once. Signal returns. This is Seaman Carl Jones, the 3rd, commanding you to move starboard 20 degrees at once. What arrogance. Who is this joker? I mean, we're a battleship. We could just blow them. Let them know who we are. Signal goes out. This is the mighty Missouri, flagship of the 7th Fleet. The signal returns. This is the Lighthouse. That's a true story, by the way. It's found in the Naval Proceedings Manual, where they literally interpreted a lighthouse to be a ship. But I like the story because it helps me introduce this subject, that there are laws of nature or lighthouse principles that govern life. We think we govern it. We may let our values govern our behavior, but the consequences of that behavior is governed by those lighthouse principles.
So, very well said from Steve. So let's capture here the lessons learned from this discussion. So the very first thing that I wanted to emphasize through this session is that do exist some nature laws of life that govern our life, and they are universal, timeless, and unchangeable. So we have not created them, will not be able to change them. We human beings, being different from animals, have conscience, which give us the ability to make our choices and decisions on the way we behave and act in life. But while we can choose how we behave and act, we cannot decide on the consequences they cause. Consequences of our actions are driven from the universal laws of life, from Lighthouse Principles. So, if we want to assure a peaceful, happy, and successful life, it is worth to know, understand these universal laws of life and act compliant to them rather than against. So these are the messages I wanted to convey in today's session to you. And now is the time for a little bit of challenge. So I want you, please, to dig into the life wisdom you have accumulated through years. Try to reflect and identify some lighthouse principles or universal laws that in your own experience were proven to govern our lives. Please share your findings into group in this video's comments so we can brainstorm together and pull together our wisdom. I'm going to do my search too, and in the next units, I'm going to pick up one by one and elaborate these laws of universal laws of life, elaborate them with you, and show how they apply and can apply better in our lives. Thank you for listening. Until the next, all the best. Thank you. Bye.